कुमार स्वामी नायक है गोंगो लिबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की
In the news tonight, first jab to be administered this week. Fiji ready to buy vaccine if needed. And illegal rental concerns LTA.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
Good evening, Fiji. The first batch of the COVID-19 vaccine, AstraZeneca, arrived last night. The 12,000 doses of the Oxford vaccine through the COVAX facility will be administered first to frontline workers. As Felipe Naikaso reports, the vaccine is a huge step towards normality with the hopes of our international borders reopening as Fiji becomes the first in the Pacific to receive the doses.
This first batch of vaccine is designated for doctors, nurses, health inspectors, quarantine facility staff, aviation and maritime staff and members of the disciplined forces who have defended our border through this pandemic.
These first jabs most certainly belong to the arms of the frontline workers who put their health and well-being on the line to keep the rest of us safe.
Over the next few days, 6,000 of our frontline workers will receive the first batch of the AstraZeneca vaccine.
These vaccines represent more than the way back to normal life. They are the shot of life our economy, our industries and thousands of Fijian breadwinners need. It is about bringing back jobs, reconnecting families across borders and reclaiming Fiji's rightful place in the world.
The vaccine has shown to be safe and effective. It's one of the 3 COVID-19 vaccines that have been recommended by the WHO. The first shot of the vaccine is also expected to be done this week.
At the moment, what we're looking at is actually, if everything goes well, it's most likely either late on Tuesday or Wednesday. The reason is because we've also got this digital online registration that we've got. We want to make sure that actually that also works.
Dr. Waganambete says they will also need to register anyone getting vaccinated. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Prime Minister Worenge Bainimarama says Fiji is prepared to pay for the COVID-19 vaccine doses if the need arises. Bainimarama says Fiji is not a big country, yet we are only guaranteed enough vaccines for 20% of our population through COVAX, and the timeline for when all of the vaccines will arrive is uncertain. Koraitandulala reports.
The Prime Minister says they need many more boxes ticked in order to catch up to the developed nations, which already have public immunization campaigns well underway.
That is why we are working on a bilateral basis with our development partners, as well as with vaccine manufacturers, to procure more safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines as soon as we can.
He says the deployment of COVID-19 vaccines will be the most complex logistical effort in Fijian history. But the Prime Minister stresses they have the organizational capacity to pull it off.
We have real-life superheroes within the Ministry of Health who have the experience and know-how to lead this campaign. But they can't achieve that mission alone. This must be a truly national effort to succeed.
Bainimarama also thanked the organizations behind the COVAX facility, including Gavi, the WHO, UNICEF and the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Initiative. Koraitandulala, FBC News.
It will take fairness to bring unity to the Social Democratic Liberal Party, and it needs to start with the party president. This is the sentiment shared by SODELPA MP and former Party General Secretary Andiliti Ngoni-Mbarabi, saying that the party president is not the only authority figure within SODELPA. Apinisa Wangai-Rondoba reports the founding SODELPA member has described the current status of the party as a sad situation.
It is a very sad situation.
Andiliti and others were advised to abstain from party affairs due to allegations of involvement with former leader Sitiveni Rambuka. Andiliti claims that party president Ratu Epenisa Dakumbau is taking the law into his hands.
People should not be expelled at the whim of the party president. He is not the authority. The authority is the party management board.
Andilitia admits SODELPA has been in chaos long enough and calls for a solution.
We can only bring about unity in the party if there is fairness, if there is equity in the decisions taken by those administering the party.
She says the party president needs to convene a meeting with all SODELPA MPs for the party to diligently serve its purpose.
The quicker the House is put back into order, the better it is. Because we have a duty to those who voted the parliamentarians into Parliament.
We're certainly standing by their decision. And you know, we need to emphasize the fact that we are protecting the party.
It's understood the directive for 8 management board members to recuse themselves from attending the party's recent meeting was issued by the party president. Attempts to get comments from party president Ratu Epenisa Thakombau have been unsuccessful. Epenisa Ngrandovu, FBC News.
The Land Transport Authority has raised concerns about illegal rental cars operators using social media platforms to advertise their services and in some cases accepting clients who do not even have a driving license. Chief Executive Samuel Simpson confirms they recently went through 60 such advertisements on social media. Pranita Prakash has more.
Some private vehicle owners are advertising heavily on social media to rent out their vehicles despite knowing there are risks.
I did a recent trawl of the adverts that were on Facebook, and there were over 60 adverts for rental cars, for taxis, for legal minivans. None of these have any permits to operate. Now, the really worrying thing, some of these organizations were advertising that they would rent you a vehicle even if you didn't have a driving license.
But they don't see the legal implications of it, and they just think of themselves. But they don't realize what impact they're creating and what kind of environment they may be creating for their own selfish needs. That is where the risk is.
The Land Transport Authority Chief Executive has labelled these vehicle owners as a risk to the society.
We need to work together to stamp that out and to eradicate it. And we are working with other agencies as we need to broaden our approach. We need to have a much more focused operation to take these people off the road. They are dangerous. They are killing people.
Fijians have been urged not to fall for such cheap tactics. The LTA says this is a real safety risk to all road users, especially to unwitting clients who will have no insurance cover in the event of death or injury. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Minister for Economy Ayaz Said Qayyum says the National Federation Party should engage in budget consultations if the party is genuine about its contribution. This comes after the NFP called on the government to do away with the tax on fuel.
The National Federation Party wants the 20 cents per litre tax on fuel to be removed.
NFP obviously is known to play what we call populist politics. Trying to appeal to particular vote banks. But have they made this submission or this media statement based on an overall economic strategy?
NFP leader Professor Biman Prasad says the government has not reduced the tax despite increases in fuel prices in the last 10 months. Said Qayyum says if the NFP makes a submission, experts drafting the next budget will look at the merits of it.
Everybody is entitled to make their submissions to the budget consultation process. It's not here for some kind of media spectacle. The National Federation Party, like any other political party, any other organization, or Fiji Chamber of Commerce or Fiji Employees Federation, can give in the submissions.
The Economy Minister adds that sources of revenue and long-term implications of this one-off strategy also needs to be considered.
Up ahead, mining sector shows resilience. And Big Wills launches new album.
Baik tu dia jadi berapa tahu रेडियो फीजी बहुत रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
While the COVID-19 pandemic has hit several sectors, the mineral exploration and mining sector have proved to be resilient against the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Reserve Bank of Fiji's annual report, gold production declined by 8.9% to 34,254 ounces in the 2019-2020 financial year due to technical issues, power supply constraints and coronavirus-related supply chain disruptions. However, during the same period, gold exports rose by 16.4% as the price rose amid the global health pandemic. Pranita Prakash reports.
There has been a lot of interest in gold exploration.
We are processing one for Sambeto, one for Vunda, one for Rakiraki, and one for Nakawandra. These are the prospects, yeah? So we are currently assessing another 5.
The Mineral Resources Department is optimistic that the sector will assist in economic recovery.
Though mineral exploration is a very fragile sector, it has shown resilience.
The sector has the potential to be able to support the government in economic recovery, especially during these difficult times, unprecedented of times. So we are working closely with these active mining leases to be able to explore any new business development opportunities and also to ramp up production, given the favorable economic conditions.
Mohammed adds they have issued 8 mining licenses, which are currently active, and 31 mineral special prospecting licenses. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
There has been an increase in the number of people with disabilities taking up top positions at several business firms and other organizations. During a discussion of the 2021 National Disability Awards, it was noted that many disabled Fijians contribute enormously to the development of Fiji, but sometimes lack recognition. Kelly Wadala reports.
Valuable work done by the disabled has gone unnoticed over the years, but many are executives who make important decisions.
Mostly unnoticed, I would say, in the work we do, the contributions we make, in the very little way it could be, but it's never known to people around us, and even within the disability sector itself.
Georgina Nangulevu, a senior manager at HFC Bank, says the 2021 awards will cover a number of categories from Entrepreneur of the Year to Sportsperson of the Year and Student of the Year.
Thank you very much. So I'm encouraging each and every one of you that have applied. Thank you for applying. It is very empowering to know that you are able to be awarded and celebrating that achievement.
The chair of the National Disability Award says it's important that persons with disabilities are recognized and acknowledged.
So this award has actually lifted up the disability sector a level up for the work that they are doing. So, it also encouraging other persons with disability to actually do that work.
The awards night will be held on the 27th of this month at the FMF Gymnasium in Suva, where 10 individuals will be recognized for their efforts. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
William Wanganimbarravi, known as Big Whales from the Makare Band, last night launched his new album, Railesu, meaning Look Back. Wanganimbarravi says COVID-19 is a blessing in disguise, as it has allowed him to put his album together after being laid off from work. He says most of the Makare Band members had commitments, so he had to compile an album with the help of his close friends. There are 10 songs in the album, and Wanganimbarravi says most of the original composers have passed on, adding every song has its own story.
We don't really know what was the story behind the music, but you can always listen to the lyrics and get an understanding of what it is, because most of them were telling a story of something or somebody.
There are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. In our Successful Fijian segment tonight, we speak with businessman Williame Nangelevuki, who is based in Vunisea, Kandavu. The Tailevu lad opened a store a year ago, and it now serves hundreds on the island. Kelly Bavala reports.
We are bringing this service.
Viliame Nangelivuki grew up in the mainland, but his passion of becoming an entrepreneur has led him to serve people in Kandavu.
We came in about a year and a half ago, and we decided to run this as a general distribution of general goods and stuff like that. And at the moment, there's challenges along the way, but we're coping it okay.
Married in Kandavu, Wilami says setting up a business was a challenge, but that never stopped him from opening the advanced store.
Very important that you understand what your customer wants, what is their background, who they are, geographically, their locations and all this kind of thing. And then you map out a plan that suits what they want, and at the same time grow you as a business person.
Growing up in a big family, Wilami knew he stood out from the rest of his siblings as he was business-minded.
Growing up, it's not as easy and cruisy, but like I said, in the process of trying to find that little thing in you that you feel like you're called for something different, something far beyond who you are, something far beyond your physical appearance, your family capabilities, your background. That takes me all this long in this journey, and I believe that's landed me right now in this journey at this moment. I don't know what is further ahead.
Italevu lad believes his motivation comes from the beginning of a new day where he is reminded to do better than yesterday.
First of all, you need to really understand who you are, identify your potential, and keep on working hard. The key to it is keep on working hard. Working hard is the key to success.
Williame Nangelivuki's passion to further his business has allowed him to install a cashless payment system earlier this month, making him the first in any maritime island. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
Up ahead in sports, Digicel Premier League launched today. And students excited for Triple Enzo. This and more after the break.
Bola, ang gono ilutoka butalita ka ng Bola FM berarti nambang 2 NSR.
Bola FM nambang 2 NSR.
The Digicel Premier League was officially launched in Lautoka today before the host took on Navua at Churchill Park. With the mobile company coming on board as sponsors for the next 3 years, it was important for them to be present at one of the league games. Digicel Fiji CEO Farid Mohammed says the sponsorship is vital in ensuring the development of soccer in the country.
For all the teams, we're looking forward to some exciting and interesting soccer matches. But I would also like to add that there's a lot of young football fans that are looking up to you, that are strong fans of your clubs, who will be looking up to you for your discipline.
Suva's Ramzan Khan smashed into the bottom right corner of the net to give the Whites a superb beginning to the Digicel Premier League, beating Rewa 1-0 at the ANZ Stadium today. Khan, from just near the penalty box, stunned the Delta Tigers goalkeeper Simeone Tamanisau with a powerful drive just before the half-time mark. Here's the goal. Nandronga settled for a 2-2 draw in its first Digicel Premier League match against Nandi at Lawanga Park in Singapore today. It couldn't be described more than but a seesaw encounter as the host held Nandi in an exciting Premier League clash. Here are the goals. Getting his first win as the interim coach for the Rewa women's football side is a milestone achievement for Usaya Tandu. The 42-year-old guided his side to a 2-0 win over Tailevu Naitasiri at ANZ Stadium in Suva today. Karleni Tavi with the details.
After half an hour in the humid Suva weather, Fiji national football rep Laura Mbukalindi managed to pull one through to give Rewa the much-needed lead just before half-time. The combination of the Naomi Sekola $100 sisters helped secure the win for Rewa, with Sekola placing another goal neatly in the net just before full-time. Interim Rewa coach Usaya Tandu says the win has been great, but they will still need to work on their midfield.
I think we have to go back and start on our preparation next week for the second round. I think probably over the midfield.
Tailevu Naitasiri coach Alvin Gaunda is using this match as a learning curve for next week.
The first game was a very important game for us. Nevertheless, we lost to Rewa, but we'll come back and we'll prepare well for our next game.
In another Digicel Super Premier League match, Nandronga beat Nandi 2-0 at Lawanga Park in Singatoka. Karleni Tavi, FBC Sports.
With the return of the Triple N zone after a lapse of a year is stirring up excitement in schools in the Nosori, Naitasiri, and Nasinu areas. More than 19 schools will be showcasing their athletic talents and competing for the top prize and bragging rights in the boys and girls division next Thursday and Friday at ANZ Stadium in Suva. Karleni Tavi reports.
Triple N zone officials have noted that interest from students has grown this year as compared to last year.
They did not take part last year because of the COVID-19. The students' interest, they have been excited to be part of this Triple N zone.
For Andi Dhakomba School, defending the girls' title will be harder this year, with new athletes still adjusting to their training program set by coach Antonio Ramboiliku.
And we have seen athletes working hard. So for us, we really have to step up. And with the new bunch of athletes that we have, it's not going to be an easy task going into the zone as a defending gym.
For underdogs, Moaniweni College, getting their athletes exposed to national level athletic competition is top priority.
In terms of Sila and other schools, we are minority, but we are not losing hope. As I've said, we are trying to give our students exposure since this is the first time Moaniweni has come out to participate into the athletics competition.
Andi Dhakomba School will be defending the girls' title, while Leline Memorial School are the holders of the boys' title. Karleni Tavi, FBC Sports.
Going up against some of the big names in the Fiji Secondary Schools Rugby League has given Ratu Latianara College a clear idea on what to improve before heading into the elimination round. The Serua-based school has been in an impressive form throughout the season, giving schools like Ratu Kandavulevu School a run for their money. Though the under-19 Ratu Latianara side went down to RKS 44-14 yesterday during the FSSRL Southeastern Zone competition, RLC teacher Naundela Ndawai says it is back to the drawing board for them.
Told to the boys they have to trust themselves and they have to do the job inside on the playground, and they try their best to manage to take Ratu Kandavulevu for the team.
A damaging heavy swell warning remains in force for the coastal areas of southwest Viti Levu, southern coastal areas of Mamanuca Group, Benga, Kandavu, Watulele, Moala Group, and the southern Lau Group. In the west, cloudy periods with brief showers towards the afternoon and evening. From Pacific Harbour to Suva, fine apart from afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms. And in the north, fine weather prevailed apart from afternoon and evening showers. At sea, a damaging heavy swell warning remains in force for the open waters of southwest Viti Levu, Mamanuca waters, southern Koro Sea, Kandavu Passage, and southern Lau waters. North to northwest winds 20 to 25 knots, rough seas. Turning to the tides, the next low tide is at 8:02 tonight, followed by high tide at 2:19 a.m. Sunrise is at 6:07. For tomorrow, cloudy periods with few showers and isolated afternoon and evening thunderstorms over the northern parts of Viti Levu and Puno Levu. The outlook for Tuesday, cloudy periods with some showers and isolated thunderstorms over most places. Recapping our main stories, first jab to be administered this week, Fiji ready to buy vaccine if needed, and illegal rental concerns LTA. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we're asking, will you take the COVID-19 vaccine shot when it's available in Fiji? Visit our FBC website to answer. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos and email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook and Twitter accounts. That's your news for tonight. Until tomorrow, stay safe. Warimamba.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.